Hello Sagittarius, my name is Alison and you are with Healing Dove Tarot. Sagittarius, slightly different format this week. As you can see, I haven't pre-shuffled your cards and laid them out. And the reason being is that someone recently made a comment accusing me of being fake because I didn't shuffle on camera. Now, those of you that have followed me from the beginning will know that I used to do that. I used to include the invocation, calling in spirit, the whole shebang. But the reason why I stopped is because I don't just shuffle, cut the deck and then pick out the cards from the top. I choose everyone individually and it took a long time. Some of my private readings, I mean, they go for an hour and a half to 2 hours because I still do it in this fashion and I record the whole process just in case anything comes up. But for these, I like to keep them short and to the point. However, this comment really bothered me, not because it was an attack at me personally. You know, I know my truth, I know my self-worth, but because it was actually more than that. It was actually by making a comment like that so flippantly, what you're actually doing is putting into question every single person that had liked that video, that resonated with that video, or more importantly, that subscribes to this channel, and making them question whether what I tell them is true. And that I won't tolerate. I'm trying to create a community here where people feel safe and open and where they can be vulnerable and either anonymously or with their name talk and share the stuff that they're going through in their daily lives so we can support each other and, you know, weave through the madness that is life. So even though it loathes me to give any credence to any negative comment, this week I will defend my community and my subscribers by shuffling on camera and doing the whole process all the way through. If you like this, you can go check out the post. I pinned it. It was on the Capricorn weekly love video from last week, so you can go have a look. I pinned it to the top and thank the person. And if you actually prefer that I do it the other way, you can do the same thing and thank them. I will post a poll so I can ask you guys what you'd prefer, because it is something that, you know, is mixed opinions and I want to try and keep the masses happy. All right. So, Sagittarius, let's get stuck into your reading. Universe and angels, messages and guides, my higher self, I call upon you now to give me a clear and accurate reading for Sagittarius in love from the 10th to the 16th of December. Please show me what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. I call upon Archangel Michael for guidance, for protection. I call upon Archangel Raphael for healing. And lastly, I call upon Eddie, my spirit guide, the white dove. Eddie, can I have 4 more cards, please? Thank you. You guys can see that on the camera there. 3 more cards, please, Eddie. Thank you. It's too many. 3 more cards, please. Right, I'm going to take those. So, nice. Really nice. Okay, cool. Beautiful reading. So, Sagittarius, at the bottom of the deck, you come into this period with the King of Swords. And I'm just going to try and adjust my camera so you can see that better. King of Swords. So, air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius could be quite prevalent for you. Or it could just be you embodying this kind of energy, okay? You've got Jupiter in your sign. Oh, and firstly, for those that it's your birthday, happy birthday. But you have Jupiter in your sign, so you could just be feeling very empowered. I mean, this King of Swords in this illustration of this card doesn't look like any normal king, right? He's sitting on his throne, he's very much in his power, he's ready to take control of the world. And as you come into the week, you have some really kind of passionate, fiery energy. You have the 7 of Wands coupled with the 10 of Wands, right? So it speaks about, you know, standing up for what you believe in, having competition, but also kind of reaching the end of your line. And what's interesting is that you have the 10 of Cups with that. So I think from last week I talked about big decisions, needing to make some decisions when it came to love. And I can see here that potentially, I mean, you've got 3 tens. You've got the 10 of Cups, you've got the 10 of Wands, and then you also have the Wheel of Fortune here, which is another 10. So it's very much ending some cycles, and you know that may be the case as you come through in your solar return in your birthday season. You may just be getting the clarity that you need to really think about what it is when it comes to love. And that's why I mentioned last week that there were some big decisions that needed to be made. The 7 of Wands and the 10 of Wands together, it just shows me that I think, you know, for some of you, and again, this is general reading, so take what applies and leave what doesn't. But for some of you, you're just kind of like getting to that end of the line where you're just kind of like exhausted and over, trying to put effort and energy into manifesting this into something that might already be dead, that feels a bit more like this. So, and what I'm feeling is you don't feel like there's teamwork involved, right? So you're just kind of like, I feel like I'm giving, or like I'm not getting enough, I'm not being fed emotionally. For others of you that are single, it's very much about wanting to put this kind of energy of the past behind you and manifest a brand new beginning, right? About trying to bring in this 10 of Cups. And what's interesting is you have 2 of the most beautiful major arcana cards of the whole entire tarot deck. You have the Wheel coupled with the Sun. So, I mean, how much more good luck and fortune can you expect? But this is not surprising because the Wheel represents Sagittarius, Jupiter in Sagittarius, and the Sun is a luminary shining light on everything it touches. You have the planet of good luck, fortune, expansion on your side. And another thing that's really interesting that a lot of astrologers and readers kind of don't touch upon, but Jupiter is also very much a healing planet. Okay, so for some of you, I feel like it's healing some past hurts and some past wounds in order to kind of manifest this complete whole connection. And it could be within your current relationship for those that are in, you know, couples. It could be about literally seeing things from a different perspective and then choosing to let some stuff go. We've had a lot of, you know, an interesting year of retrogrades. It's felt like every corner you turn around, it's retrograde when it comes to astrology. And what's interesting enough for you, it's like the spotlight's on, right? You know, like I said, Jupiter's in your sign. It expands everything it touches. And that's both positive and negative. So little things that might have been, you know, just niggly little things in your relationship or your intimate connections can now be blown out, and allows you to see things more clearly. Sagittarius allows you to really get a clear view on what it is that you want to give and receive when it comes to love. And what's interesting is that I have a pair here, Sagittarius. I have the King and Queen of Swords. Now, this is a really interesting couple, right? This is what I would, don't shoot me for this term, but this is my really astute, nerdy, well-off kind of couple, right? They're very intelligent. They're the kind that would have a library within their house, that subscribe to Time magazine, that kind of feel, right? Nothing wrong with either of those things. I'm obsessed with tarot cards, crystals, and books. That's my forte. So I kind of fall into this category. But for me, as a couple, as a pair, I really see these two as being, you know, that kind of university lecturer kind of feel, really highly intelligent, highly focused on whatever it is that they're trying to achieve, and be that together or be that separate. But for you, Sagittarius, this could be representing the person that you're currently in a relationship with or the person that you're trying to draw in. I think one of the things about Sagittarius that a lot of people tend to overlook is the level of intelligence that you have, okay? You may not be, you know, cardinal fire. You may not be coming in at that kind of level, but you are at the very end of the astrological zodiac chart, right? So that means you've incarnated in so many different lifetimes, if you so believe. And with that comes worlds and worlds and worlds, or lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes of experience, of wisdom. You're wise. And what Jupiter is doing is actually causing you to call in someone that's on your same level. Now, you could have already met this person, and there could be, as you get to the weekend, a lot of kind of like hot, steamy text messages going backwards and forwards. Lots of can't wait to see you, can't wait to go on the next date, that kind of love type thing. You know, it's a beautiful combination. One of the cute descriptions of the Eight of Wands when it comes to traditional tarot is it's often referred to as Cupid's arrows of love, right? It's a bit corny, but also very cute. So I feel like as you get to the weekend, you're kind of letting go of any fear, of any doubt, of actually putting to bed any kind of past issues, making a conscious choice to move forward with this new person, or at least explore this new connection and see where it goes. Yeah, because at the heart of your reading, you have the Three of Pentacles. So the Three of Pentacles is, you know, all about teamwork, wanting to build something of, you know, something concrete, a foundational thing. It's just before the Four. Fours are all about foundation, but threes are all about building it together, working together. And this is very much what I feel like you're trying to achieve, Sagittarius. You're trying to build a relationship where the foundation is strong, where there's you know, beautiful emotional abundance, but also great passion, because, you know, you're one of the sexy signs of the zodiac. You want to have that passion, you want to draw it in, and my goodness, is it here? I mean, look at these cards. Look at the colors, even so beautiful. I mean, you can't hide your light, Sagittarius. You are beaming at the moment. Beautiful. And I think a lot of this, you know, has to go to you and the inner work that you've done, because you've got the Hanged Man here. And, you know, part of being an intuitive is reading the cards for what they are, but getting messages from spirit. And I really see this as you being illuminated, you seeing things from a different perspective, you really actually doing the inner work. And now the universe is going to you, yeah, you've really done the inner work. You spent the last couple of years working on yourself to get to this point, to be able to draw this great love in. And it's like, now I'm going to make that happen for you. A lot of Sagittarius are going to meet their life partner this year, in this kind of year where Jupiter's returned to your sign. It's going to be an incredible year in so many different ways in terms of luck, good fortune. And I'm going to touch upon that a little bit more later on in the year as we get closer to solstice and the Cancer full moon on December 22nd. But for me, this reading is really, it's very clear, cut and dry, whether you're in a couple or whether you're single. And it's really about getting that clarity that you want, having victory in love, Six of Swords, and letting go of kind of any negativity, any kind of weight is probably the best word. I'm feeling heavy. I'm feeling very heavy on my shoulders. My shoulders and my neck are feeling heavy. Maybe you're spending too much time on a computer, but I'm feeling very much a weight. Oh, that's so funny. And then I look down at the picture. Look at this. He's like bent over. This is where I'm feeling it. I'm feeling like this weight, this pain. You're feeling like you're carrying the world on your shoulders. And maybe you have been. Maybe that's exactly what's been happening, and you haven't had a lot of time for love, and now you're being able to draw that in. Whatever it is that's carried on from last week that's kind of brought you into this new week, I really see it only going from strength to strength. I'm so excited to see what all your readings bring up for you. You know, it's this new life, this new love, this new passionate, hot encounters. Like, look at the fire on that. Look at the fire in that card on the Eight of Wands. So steamy. It's just this really beautiful, intelligent, yet passionate connection. That's the best way I can explain it. And I feel like if you haven't yet met that person yet, this is the kind of energy that you're trying to draw in. Like, you'll be going, yeah, Ali, that's the person that I want to meet. I want to meet someone that's smart, but that also, you know, is totally into me physically. And often I find with a lot of clients that I do reading with, they tell me that they have that challenge. Like, they'll meet someone that they're intellectually attracted to, but physically aren't so much. So it's hard to kind of find that trifecta where you're intellectually challenged by them, you're also physically attracted, and they emotionally give you fulfillment. Yeah, it's I just can't speak any more highly of this. It's really beautiful. You have, in terms of major arcana, the Sun, the Wheel of Fortune, and then you've got the Ten of Cups here, and even the Hanged Man. Like, it's such a positive card. You do have the Prince of Swords here, so I just want to point that out to you so you know, because I've kind of glossed over it. But that's just telling me that you're getting clarity in whatever this truth is when you've gone within, when you've done that inner work. It's just giving me swift clarity that's coming in. Because I've already mentioned that there's an air sign around you. Air and fire, how interesting. Okay, singles, can I have some additional guidance for singles, please? Sagittarius singles in love from the 10th to the 16th of December. Please show me what they need to know. Seek. Did you guys get this card last week? I don't know if you did or if Aquarius did, but it's the card of Virgo. So perhaps a Virgo is quite prominent, but I'm not surprised. This is, you know, a kind of more of this kind of vibration. We're needing to go within. So perhaps you haven't done this yet, and this is what I see coming up for you this week, Sagittarius, because this does speak about being illuminated as you go into next week. This is kind of my energy as you flow into next week. Couples, additional guidance for Sagittarius couples. That was my mistake, not the cards. In love from the 10th to the 16th of December. Please show me. Thank you, Eddie. Please show me. There it is. Orphaned. All right, so I'm going to talk about this in a second. Singles, seek. I'm being reminded of that Rumi quote. What is it? What you seek is also seeking you. Quest, understand, retreat, solitude, introspection, and guidance. Sometimes individuals become so engrossed in a relationship or in wanting a relationship that all perspective is lost. Been there. The relationship becomes their world and they lose sight of themselves. This card suggests that now is the time to take a step back, either from a relationship or from the desire for one, and go on an internal quest to rediscover yourself. One of my favorite sayings is, there can't be a we until there's a me. If this resonates with you, it's time to have a dialogue with your higher self and your guides about who you are and what you really need in life. You may be surprised by the answers. And there's this affirmation that says, I take time for solitude and introspection. And singles, I really see that, right? That's what I'm saying. Once you get that clarity, it's like, look, you have the wheel of fortune, fate, and the sun in your favor, right? It's just a matter of actually taking the time to figure out, you know, what's happened in the past, where you're going and what you want. And look, I'm posting these on the 8th of December. We just had the new moon that came in on the 6th or the 7th, depending on where you are in the world. This is the perfect time to actually manifest new beginnings. I posted about it as well on the page. So if you haven't done it yet, sit down, write your intentions for the next 6 months. It could have an effect on 8 months because 8s are quite prevalent in your reading, but 6 months is generally new moon. So whatever you put out to the universe now, you'll see come back to you by July. And I think that's where you're at. Couples, orphaned, 5. A sense of loss, identity crisis, recognizing that you don't fit in, a need to belong, and uncertainty about your place. As you shift and evolve and commit to your own growth, you long for support but may be disappointed and hurt by others who are not providing what you feel you deserve. Perhaps you are drifting away from this relationship because you're in a different stage of personal growth. Well, that couldn't be any more true. Hanged Man, Queen of Swords, 7 of Wands. Goes on to say, perhaps you are in a new relationship and discovering that you don't share the same values and beliefs, so you feel left out, unable to get to that intimate place of safety and belonging. Take heart, dear one, as Spirit knows you and loves you and will steer you in the direction of those who accept you as you are without artifice or agenda. Don't compromise yourself to belong. It won't be worth the price. Wow, Sagittarius. So this is heavy. And I think this ties in with what I was saying with big decisions that came up last week, right? For those that are in couples. Sagittarius, as a sign, you are going through this massive transformation. And like I said, Jupiter shines a light on all and expands all. So all that is good gets expanded. All that might be a little bit negative or challenging also gets expanded. And for you, you can't kind of run or hide. It's like there. So this might be a week for you too about seeking some answers, maybe going within and trying to get that introspection, same as the singles are, and kind of having a clearer perspective about where you stand. All right, lovelies, I hope you found this reading helpful. Just know that the good stuff is coming. I showed it to you in the cards. It's just going to be a week for you, I think, about really doing some contemplation about where you're going and what you want. And you know who doesn't love that? I hope you found this reading helpful. If you did, please hit the like button and I'll be back with you next week. Take care.